Today we are going to talk about cost involved starting okra farming and the profit one stand to make starting okra farming here in Ghana. We are here with the CEO of Osborg Agric Enterprise, Mr. Boachi Yadom, aka Agricman. Mr. Boachi, you're welcome.
Fine.
In our previous video, we talked about the process involved going to okra farming. So if you haven't watched it, just after watching this video, you can go and watch it to add it up to what we are going to do today, Mr. Boachi. So kindly take us through the process so that we can be able to have enough information to start our okra farming this year.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now it's very important to consider the cost and revenue before you enter into any venture.
Okay.
Yeah, so as we've already discussed in the okra farming, the process and everything.
Okay.
It's also necessary to know the amount of money maybe you need before you decide to maybe cultivate for 1 acre of okra farming. So it's very important. But as we started, every farming activity starts with land.
Okay.
So before you start your okra production, you need your land. So the first cost is the land acquisition.
All right.
Where are you going to acquire your land? We've already talked about the type of land which is good for okra.
Okay.
But the cost of 1 acre of land depends on the situation or location. Yes, where you are renting the land is also one factor that can determine the price. But approximately maybe 250 to 300 cedis per acre. So let's
take
per
year, right?
Yes, per year. When they say year, is if it's a short-term cost, is you can get 2 seasons. So it's for a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So when we acquire the land, we need to also start preparing the land.
Yeah.
How much will we need to prepare the land?
Land preparation depends on where you are. Yeah, but it also ranges from 300 to 500 cedis. Okay. Yeah, I'm saying 300 to 500 cedis because there are some places where when you get the land, you weed, you bend, you can start sowing the okra. There are some places too, after all the preparation, you may choose to plow because maybe it's a plowing land.
All right.
See, the cost will not be equal.
Okay.
So at least by 300 to 500 cedis, you can prepare your land upright.
Okay. But for the land renting, like Mr. Boachi said, it depends on the place because here in Accra, I remember I went to a farm, I asked the farm manager about the renting. They said it take like 1,005 Ghana cedis per year. And then I also heard about Sege, which that takes about 500 Ghana cedis per year. So it depends on where you are going to rent your land. But if you want it cheaper, then you have to go further from Accra.
Yes, that's good. Because Accra land for farming is not easy. And even Accra, the acre is not normal acre.
All those places are very expensive.
Yes, very expensive.
Okay. So after we prepare our land, what are we going to do next? The next thing, I think, is a seed selection.
Yeah, you have to get your seed. Okay. And it's important. You see, last I discussed a number of or types of seed. Can talk of maybe as on term, a long figure, a lot of seed. But at least for okra farming, 1 acre, you need about 300 grams.
Okay.
Of okra seed you can plant for 1 acre. And 100 grams is about 100 cedis. So at least when you get 300 cedis, it can also cater for your seed.
All right.
Yeah.
So the seed, you know, some people prefer to get the seed from direct from the farmers. Is it the right thing to do, or they have to buy the prepared ones?
If you're able to buy the certified one, it's good. But okra as a vegetable, most of the farmers use the one that they selected from their farm, and it's good for them.
Oh, okay.
Because for okra, you can buy the certified one, or if you know the one you are using too is good, you can dry it well and also have it. Yes, have it.
Okay. Now let's go to the planting.
Yeah.
How much will it cost me to plant on 1 acre of okra? 1
acre of okra for planting, it will cost maybe, let's say, from 150 to 200 cedis. As always, depending on where you are.
Okay.
We have to add that one because there are some places where the labor cost is cheap, and some places the labor cost is very high. Some places they charge 1 acre, then they plant. Some places you have to hire a labor and pay them. 5 people, maybe 40 cedis per day, 30, 50 cedis per day. So it depends, but at least 150 to maybe 200 cedis.
All right. So in a day, how many acres can they plant?
That's why I said if you have 5 people, we can plant for 1 acre.
They can plant.
Yes.
But the 150 to 200 is it going to cater for a day or for the whole 1 acre?
Yeah, if the agreement is per acre, like when we plant 1 acre is 200 cedis. So if you use 5 days to plant, it's It's 200.
200.
If you use 30 minutes to plant, it's 200.
Oh, okay. All right. I think the agreement will be better than the by day.
By day, they say. But if the labor is there, there are some places that the labor is there. They do their own work. They have their groups that they use to do that work. They are in groups. So when even 5 acres, 10 acres, they can just plant it for you. You want to go for the by day. That is where the problem lies.
Okay.
Because for that one, if you are not lucky, your budget to be more than even 200.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now let's go to the fertilizer application. At what point do we apply the fertilizer?
Oh, normally 2 weeks after germination is good.
2 weeks, okay.
Yeah, and in okra now you see we have type of fertilizers. I know our subscribers, they follow us for a long time, so they know the type of fertilizers. But I would advise that when going to vegetable production, at times we need the MPK 15-15, the one with the nitrogen 15, phosphorus 15, and potassium 15. Okay. Because in vegetables production, we don't use more nitrogen fertilizers. Yeah, so we have to avoid the 23-10-10 and 20-10-10, and then use the 15-15. Or maybe you get 10-20-15. Even the one with the highest phosphorus and potassium, that is good for vegetables.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So how many bags do we need for 1 acre?
Oh, two bags will be good.
2 bags.
If the land is good, you can use 1 bag. Okay. But let's say 2 bags.
2 bags.
And the bags of the bag of MPK is now around 380 to 400. So let's say 400 cedis. Yeah.
Okay. So that means we'll be needing
800 Ghana cedis for the fertilizer application.
What of the labor cost?
For the labor cost, I think 150 cedis. 150 to 200. Yeah, 150 to 200. Yeah.
All right. So now after fertilizer application, the next thing we'll be looking at is the weed control. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So when we come to the weed control, with the fertilizer application and the labor, how much do you think we will be needing for the weed control?
Weed control, we have types of weed control.
Okay.
A farmer can choose pre-emergence weed control. For that one, it's good for the plow land.
Okay.
When you plow the land, you buy a pre-emergence herbicides and spray so that it will create a seed of the weeds, so that the weed will not germinate. That one is there.
But it will definitely germinate.
Yes, but it will take long time. Yes.
Okay.
And we have post-emergence. That is why for that one, you plant the weeds will come, then you buy herbicides. We have selective herbicides for vegetables. Okay. And you buy that one to control the weeds. And other way around, you can also use the manual one. Okay. Where you use a hoe. Okay. You use a hoe and cutlass to weed. Okay. But in any case, either you choose pre-emergence, post-emergence, or maybe by labor using a manual system, it will cost you around 250 to 300 cedis. 300 for the weed control. Okay. Yeah.
Now we know okra, like you said in the previous video, okra also faced a lot of pest issues, just like the cabbage and other vegetables. Yeah. How much will it take us to control pests for 1 acre?
Pest control in vegetables is very important, particularly okra. You see, okra is not pest alone, diseases. Okay. Yes, there are a lot of diseases that attacks okra. Okay. At times we see the leaves become yellowish. At times we see the leaves will fall. Okay. There are a lot of diseases that attack okra, apart from the pests and the thrips. We have okra thrips too. They disturb okra too much. But the most important aspect is to start the pest control or the disease control area. Okay. So 2 weeks after germination, even when it germinates 1 week, you have to scout the farm. When you see that maybe this locusts has started maybe cutting the leaves small, then you have to start your first chemical control. Okay. Then it's better it follows suit. Every week or every 2 weeks you do that. If you do that, you will not use more insecticide or more chemicals. Yes, if you spray it regularly, you will not use more chemicals. Okay. But if you sit down for the diseases or the pests to cover the farm, then you have to add more chemicals, and also it will not help the vegetables. Okay. Yes, so the pest control and the disease control in okra farming is very important. If you are not careful, your okra will be for maybe okra can take about maybe 8 weeks and start bearing fruit. That that is 2 months. Let's say 2 months. But if you are not careful, for a month or 1 month, 2 weeks, you will see a lot of disease or pests, and they can attack the okra to the extent that it cannot bear fruit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So averagely, how much should we look at when it comes to the pest control?
At least 800 to 1,000 cedis. Because for the okra, it's not insecticide alone. Okay. You have to get fungicides. Particularly the copper-based fungicide is good. Okay. You add it to the insecticide, then you spray. Okay. And the insecticide too, we have types. We have the contact, we have systemic, and we have the stomach action. So it depends on the type of pest that attacks your okra. That will influence the type of insecticide that you buy.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. So we are done with the pest control. The next thing we should be looking at is the fertilizer, second fertilizer
the second fertilizer application is a choice.
Okay.
If I say it's a choice, if your land is a loamy soil, black loamy, and look good, after first fertilizer application, you don't need a second one. Okay. Yeah, but if not so, and even you want to go into the second fertilizer application, for that one, I'll advise that you use more of the foliar organic liquid fertilizers or foliar fertilizers than using the normal other urea or NPK. Because when you use the foliar fertilizer or the liquid fertilizer or the organic liquid fertilizer, it always helps the leaves. Yes. Okay. And the flowers, so it will bring more flowers, and it also protect the fruit. So for the second fertilizer application, I will advise that we use the foliar fertilizers more than the one we apply on the basal application. And for that one, for the foliar liquid fertilizers, at least 300 cedis can cater for the second application. So now
the next thing we are going to look at is the revenue.
Yeah.
But before the revenue, is there any other thing that we need to know about the cost?
Yeah. Before the revenue, now the total cost I think is about 3,600 cedis. Meaning that before you want to venture into okra farm, you need about 3,600 to at least 4,000 cedis. Yes. For 1 acre of okra.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's it for the expenditure or the cost involved going to okra farm. But before we continue, before we look at the revenue, if you need Mr. Boakye for any assistance when it comes to agri input or agri input, including your fertilizer and everything, or you need him for a consultation on farming, I'll be leaving his contact on the screen and the description section. You get in touch with him and he will be able to sort you out. If you call him and the number is not going through, just WhatsApp him. When it's available, he'll be able to return your message. And also, if you need a farmland for coconut, palm, maize, or any other crop, get in touch with me. My contact will be on the screen in the description section. Get in touch with me. We'll take you through the process to acquire yours. The process is very easy. You acquire it and you start farming either this year or next year. So that is it. But the land is limited, so if you don't come early, you might not get some. Now let's look at the revenue. How much am I supposed to expect at the end of the harvest or for one acre?
Revenue calculation, I think, is important, because if you don't know how much you are going to get, it will not even influence you to venture. Okay. Okra is not like maize. For the maize, maybe you get 20 bags and a bag is maybe 600, so you have maybe so much. But for okra, the unit of measurement or the size, it comes in series. It starts with a smaller unit, then it goes up. Okay. Because in Ghana, for 1 acre of okra, in fact, valuably you can get about 2 to 3 tons. Okay. But in Ghana, we always buy in different baskets. The market women, they have some small basket that they used to measure, and for that one, the basket is almost from 30 to 50 cedis. Okay. So let's say 50 cedis per bucket. And 1 acre, you can harvest about 10 to 15 baskets a day. Even
there are times when okra is very expensive.
Yeah. It can be even 100 cedis per that basket around February of every year. Yeah, but at least 50 cedis for that basket. Okay. Yeah, and one day you can harvest about as I said, 10 to 15 baskets when your yield everything is good. Okay. It can be even more than that. Yes. And in okra too, you harvest about a day to 3 days every every 3 days at least you have to harvest, because when you are not careful, it will be overgrown, and when it overgrown, you will not get market. So at least every 3 days you have to harvest.
Okay. Yes. So how many days continuously will you be able to harvest
okra? When you start after 2 months, you can harvest for almost 90 days.
For 90 days?
Yes, please.
Wow. So that means if you are harvesting with every 2 to 3 days, and you are going to get like 30 days.
Yes, 30 days out of harvest.
90 days. So divided by the 3, you have 30 days.
Yes, the 30 days harvesting. Yes. Yeah. And every day, if you get even 10 baskets and it's 50 cedis, that is 500 cedis a day. Then you multiply by the 30 days as we have assumed, and it's around 3 times 550. It's almost 15,000.
Oh wow!
15,000 for the period. This is 1 acre, and the cost is around 3,600.
Yeah.
So when you pick the 3,600 and you subtract from the 15,000, you are going to get around 11,400. Yeah. So if valuably the cost is even 4,000 and you subtract from 15,000, you still get 11,000.
Okay. So right now what we have here is 3,600 as the expenditure.
Okay.
Our cost of production, and then the revenue was 15,000 Ghana cedis. So if you subtract the 3,600 cedis from the 15,000, you are going to get like 11,400 Ghana cedis. Yes,
11,400. This excludes transportation costs.
Yeah.
So let's say the 400 cry is just a transportation cost. You get 11,000. So if you manage it well and you're able to cultivate for 10 acres, I think it's a big money. Yes, it's a big money.
Wow. So when you multiply that, okay, so 11,000 times 10. Yes. How much are you supposed to be?
It's almost 110 something. You calculate and see. Right. So if you go for 10 acres or you go to 5 acres, it depends on the number of acres you can be able to cultivate. And I would advise that in okra production, if you are able to start around, if you use irrigation system, it's going to help more. So far the revenue is concerned, your revenue will increase, because in Ghana, at least every February, March, the price of okra
starts right from December.
Yeah, December, January, February. Because for December, January, February, we know Ghana, all our farming activities is rain fed.
Okay.
Yes, and after December, if you don't have irrigation system or if you don't have a waterlogged area, you cannot produce okra. That is why at times the price of okra anytime escalates. At times they just count 3 pieces, 3 for 2 cedis. Yes. So that season is good. Okay. Yeah. If you want to go, you have to calculate all these things before you start the production. If not, and you just start at any time, you'll be frustrated and you say that okra or vegetables, when you produce for vegetables, you not get buyers. It's not a matter of getting buyers. In vegetable production, looking for buyers and market is not all that important. It's demand and supply. If the thing is not there, no matter your location, they will come and buy.
Okay.
But if the thing is there, you have to even transport it to the market, and still you will find some challenges. Yeah. That's how it is now.
All right. So we have this question from Odroya Elvis. Said, very educative. This question is based on the maize storage. He said,
it's a maize storage.
Yes. So using the liquid chemical to treat the maize, how many ml can be used in 15 or 16 liter knapsack sprayer? How long can the maize be consumed?
For the liquid, I use acrylic and 50 to 150 mils. Yes, 100 mils will be good. Okay. Depending on the damage or how long you want to keep it. Okay. And for the acrylic, it's not all that dangerous. After 3 months, you can consume. Okay. Unlike the tablets that it take you a number of months. Oh. Okay. Yes.
All right. Then the next question is from Tosin Kojo.
Yes.
It said, "Good job. Please, can we apply the NPK and the urea together at the same time?"
NPK and urea, it's not advisable to mix and apply at the same time, because the idea is after when you plant maize 2 weeks after germination, it needs nitrogen and other plant nutrients. That's why you apply the NPK one with the highest nitrogen, 23-10-5 or 20-10-10 at the first stage. So when the maize is about to tassel and the nutrient level is low, that is where you add more nitrogen, either urea 46% or ammonia 21%. But it's not advisable to add the NPK and the urea at the same time and apply at the initial stage.
Okay.
Yes, some people do that, but when they decide to apply it once, we have some farmers, they see that the land is very good, so the first application will not be necessary for them. So for the second application, they mix the NPK and the nitrogen, and even the NPK and ammonia will be very good than mixing with the urea, although you can mix. But the NPK, if you can even mix NPK with urea, the NPK should be maybe 15-15. Yes, because the 23-5, the nitrogen is what, 23, and the urea, the nitrogen is almost 46%. So at times it's not advisable to mix it. If you do that, the nitrogen content of the NPK, the nutrient, will be higher, and it can also affect the crop.
Okay, so Obalisto, he said, thanks for sharing your experience with us. Please, how much is per bag? That's he's referring to the beans.
Bag of beans.
Yes.
Oh, the black eye now I think it's 1,000 cedis as I'm speaking now. At Ejura and at Ibubu, I don't know of, but for Accra, Kumasi, I think it will be more than that because of transport cost.
Oh, okay.
But at least 1,000 cedis per bag now.
All right. So I hope your questions have been answered. If you have any questions, let us know that in the comment section, so that in the next video we can be able to address those questions. Help us share this video with families and friends who need this information, and also like this video if you like this video. If you like this video. If you haven't watched the previous video we make on okra farming, I'll be leaving the link in the comment section or in the description section. It will also pop up just after watching this video. Just this one, check either this or this. Just click on it and go and watch it. We'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.